Welcome to the Binge or Cringe Tunes podcast with Jimmy and Rocko.
Hello and welcome to Binge or Cringe Tunes. My name is Rocko.
And my name is Jimmy.
And we review songs for their artistic and their technical merits. This is the last show for our first season, so this is, I believe it's episode 15. So I'd like to thank everybody that has sent songs for us to review. I mean, it takes guts at times to basically send your art, and I do know that some people get nervous about things like that. So I appreciate putting the trust in us to review your song, especially on a podcast that's called Binge or Cringe Tunes. So I would like to introduce the final track for season 1 of Binge or Cringe Tunes, and the song is called Rebound. And this is by Jessica Chertock and Ruben Gausel Torkelsen. I just hope I'm pronouncing their name right. Let's give that a listen.
Sometimes I think I'm crazy, like I'm out of my mind, and everything gets hazy, like I'm going blind. But I just wanna be better, 'cause I lost hold of my tether, but I know I figure it out. I'll be swinging when I come around. Yeah, I can picture it now. Figure it out. I'll be swinging when I come around. Yeah, I can picture it now. Baby, I'm about to rebound. Baby, I'm about to rebound. Baby, I'm about to. Sometimes my thoughts get too loud. I can't hear through all their lies. I let things in I shouldn't allow, and it don't feel right. But I just wanna be better, 'cause I lost hold of my tether, but I know I'll figure it out. I'll be swinging when I come around. Yeah, I can picture it now. Baby, I'm about to rebound. I know I'll figure it out. I'll be swinging when I come around. Yeah, I can picture it now. Baby, I'm about to rebound, rebound. Rebound, rebound. Baby, I'm about to rebound. Baby, I'm about to rebound. Baby, I'm about to. I've spent too long lost deep in these dark clouds. Been trying to keep my feet down on the ground. Yeah, I'm so sick of living life in doubt, but you know I'm about to rebound. Baby, I'm about to rebound.
Okay, Jimmy. So we just listened to it's crazy, but it's been 15 episodes already, and we just listened to the last song for season 1. So what did you think of Rebound?
First, I want to say it's been a fun journey. I appreciate all the contributors, and I had fun myself. I look forward to next season. So, on to the song Rebound. I want to start off by saying I actually like the tune. I think it has a pretty good merit. I think it's overall, it is well produced, good voices, and it's an appealing tune. Now, onto the technical side, what I get? Okay, it has an average loudness of -10, which is 4 dB higher than the streaming services, but it seems to be a current trend. I've been doing some reading up on it, so I would have to say at this point it's going to get a pass. However, the peak levels at -0.1 or 0 are just pushing the limits too much. You've left no room, a margin of error, and you might want to calm that down a bit in case you, and I'm pretty sure it's been mastered, but in case you're sending it to certain streaming services, some streaming services might exceed their levels. On the stereo correlation, I found it too wide. The spectrograph showed it too wide, and you probably maxed out at 75%. And the reason why I found it too wide is because when you went into mono, the sound dropped out a substantial amount that you weren't exactly hearing the same elements. So you might want to look at that and calm down that stereo image. Same thing, another problem that you run into on the crest factor, because your peak levels and your average loudness is you're pretty much a square wave coming out on the crest factor. You're probably limiting too much. So I guess you were going for that loudness factor, and that style of music kind of demands it. So it may be acceptable to a lot of people, but the streaming services don't like it, and it really can suck the life out of a song. That being said, if we move on to spectrum, you used the full spectrum, so that was good. The general dynamic range and the average loudness, they were both fine. One was at 8, the other was at 3.5. But I can say, despite these little niggles, that the tune does come across solid. It does come across very typical of the genre, and it does sound pro. So that has all that going for it. I think you've done a good job overall. Rocko?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with the pro quality of the song. As far as on the artistic level, I would say the intro, it was a nice intro. The vocals are really good, and the melody is solid. So the vocals themselves, they were very familiar to me. They sounded like someone else. I can't really, pinpoint exactly, but it sounded like somebody I'd heard before. The vibe of it, probably say this fits under future bass at points, because I did do a track that's got a similar kind of production and arrangement. So I kind of felt that with it, a future bass type sound. And I loved the chorus. The chorus I thought was great. I mean, this song is radio friendly for sure. And I think it could also be taken to another level. I hope that they have a dance remix made for this, because this would be a great club track. So I'd have to say I'm really impressed with this track. It has all the elements needed in my book. And I love the way it just ends. So I think ending our season with this track, I'm kind of, I'd have to say, like, I'm very, very impressed with this track. So I've got nothing else to say other than binge. I would binge this track without issue.
I would agree with you.
Perfect. So again, I would like to thank everybody for their submissions. I do know we have a few submissions that have come in, and others are probably going to be coming in during our hiatus. We have to figure out when we'll be back, but it'll be sometime in the fall. So I'd like to thank everybody for listening to Binge Or Cringe Tunes.
And I'd like to say the same thing, and see you in the future. Thank you, and good night.
Good night.
Thank you for listening to the Binge or Cringe Tunes podcast with Jimmy and Rocko here at Anchor FM. Until next time.